but they were sure going to try. Nazar heard the first intercept transmissions. "Bearing 350, distance 300. It was in the blind, requiring no acknowledgement. He knew it was for him, and he was to add 90 degrees to whatever heading they transmitted and subtract 150 kilometers from any distance, so the American plane was 080 from them, 150 kilometers away. They increased their speed, pushing through the sound barrier, through Mach 1.2, and headed directly for the unsuspecting American plane, which was 10,000 feet below them. Kent Rathman used his new CIA badge to open the door to the counterterrorism section on the first floor of the enormous office building in Langley, Virginia. He was surprised it actually worked. The first time was always iffy. He walked down the hallway, looking for Don Jacobs, the director of counterterrorism at the agency. He spotted Jacobs' office across a large area full of cubicles and walked around to approach it from the side without the window, so his approach couldn't be seen. He looked through the crack behind the door where it stood open and saw Jacobs still sitting at his desk checking his watch. Rathman stepped silently through the door. "Morning, sir," he said quietly. Jacobs jumped, catching the expression on his face before it could fully develop into the shock he felt. "What are you doing in here? Are you Rathman?" "Yes, sir." "We're supposed to meet in a conference room. Didn't you get my message?" "Yes, sir, but there wasn't anyone there. I thought I'd come find you and save you the walk." "We're still going to the conference room." He started walking down the hall, then stopped. "We need to get one thing clear right away. I don't like games. If you like games, you're in the wrong place. You got that?" Rathman tried not to smile. "Sorry, sir." They reached the conference room. Jacobs grabbed a carafe and poured coffee from it. He held it up, asking Rathman if he wanted any. Rathman took a cup gratefully. "Thanks. You come highly recommended." Rathman said nothing. "Have you met Carpenter?" Craig Carpenter was the Deputy Director of Operations, the number 2 in the DO, the Directorate of Operations. The Directorate of Operations consisted of several subdivisions, including the CAS, the Covert Action Staff for Political and Economic Covert Actions, the PM for Paramilitary Covert Action, and the Special Operations Unit for Counterintelligence. Within the Special Operations Unit was the SAS, the Special Activities Staff. "Yes, sir. We've gotten to know each other pretty well." "Why did he pick you to set up a new SAS team?" "I think I was just available. He interviewed me and thought I'd be a good liaison between the SAS and your people." "So you're now a member of the SAS, at least temporarily." Most people talked about the SAS in hushed tones. It was odd to hear Jacobs asking about it in full voice, not caring who was listening. "Yes, sir." "What do you know about them?" The SAS was one of the least well-known special operations units in the country. The Special Activities Staff, a nice vague name for a very pointed, deadly group, was responsible for covert action undertaken by the agency. Rat had done his homework. He wasn't about to accept his current assignment without learning everything there was to know about the SAS. "I've gotten a lot of good information, but would always like to know more." "You have a lot of experience," Jacob said, watching Rathman's face. "You were involved with the French Special Forces in Bosnia. You nabbed several of the most wanted war criminals." Rathman controlled his surprise. "Who told you that?" "And after the World Trade Center, your Navy group, Dev Group, was given a pretty free hand. We heard you were personally involved in several missions." Rathman paused. "I can't really talk about much of that." "I've read all the op reports. You think I'd let you be the liaison with my counterterrorism people without checking up on you?" "I assumed you had," Rathman said. "One thing makes me wonder, though." "What's that?" Rathman asked, sipping from his coffee but not taking his eyes off Jacobs. "If you're so good, why did the Navy let you come on temporary duty to the SAS? Why would they let you go?" Jacobs didn't want to say what he thought, that the SAS hadn't done as well as had been expected in the war on terrorism. This was a clear attempt on the part of the special warfare community to cross-pollinate those who had done spectacularly well into the CIA. Jacobs resented it. "I was due to rotate, and my detailer was sending me back to Bud's. Basic underwater demolition SEAL training in Coronado, California, was where all Navy SEALs were trained. They were going to make an instructor out of me. My Dev Group CO thought that was a waste. He set this up." Dev Group, or DevGru, the development group as it was known, was the Navy's counterterrorism SEAL team, the elite of the elite. The Navy didn't even acknowledge its existence. They would talk of a certain SEAL team.